Hey, what is up guys, Massive here, back to do another video, and today I've got a showcase of Kane on tournament decision, no poker. I'm going to be versus R29 Numfish in this case. He's a pretty good player, has improved a lot in recent times. And I'm starting things off with a bang here, going for Shadow Team opening, building that secret shrine. It's a really good map for it. You can, in the original map, deny your opponent from taking the 2 spikes that they have, but this is the no poker version. The name implies that there's no poker, so if I go for a Shadow Team opening, they're not going to lose their engineers because the routes to the spikes have been shortened, or the spike, in the case of this one, has changed locations, a little bit closer to the base. It's more balanced this way, and the map, aside from that, has remained the same. Did fix a minor bug in the middle of the map with that defensive tower. Engineers would path the wrong way, never actually capture it. That was fixed. Funny enough, all I did was I just placed a prop, I think it was a Humvee, and a parking spot next to it. It made the pathing work then. Speaking of defensive tower, yeah, he's captured it, and sadly for me, I am going to be in some trouble because I did lose a Saboteur there. So I'm only going to be at most able to capture 1 Tiberium Spike. This already has put me on the back foot significantly, which is very unfortunate. And furthermore, I think in this game I also didn't capture the spike due to engineer getting killed in the Tiberium field. I may be remembering a different game. My engineer's moving out across the map. No, that was a different game, guys. You don't want to send your engineers through the Tib field on this map because sometimes the Tiberium exposure will kill them. If you're a scrim player, it's understandable. Your units have Tiberium immunity. They in fact get healed in Tiberium. He's guarding that Tiberium spike with the Gunwalker, so I'm not going to be able to capture it. This engineer has the cybernate legs, so it's going to increase its movement speed by 100%. It's very fast, very speedy. So in fact, the speediest engineer in the game, even faster than the Traveler 59 one. But I'm versus Traveler 59 here. He's already got that Seeker. And I'm just doing some recon here, seeing if I can get that power plant, because with the 2 summoned in Shadow Teams, you can bomb a power plant. And I'm hoping to pull the Gunwalker away from the spike to engage the Shadow Teams while going for that Tiberium spike. But he's not taking the bait. He is just going to chill here. So I'm just flying around here, hoping he builds more units to respond. Hopefully he goes for another Gunwalker, because I'm trying to recover my economy in the meantime. I do maintain 3 Tiberium spikes currently, so I have a 2 spike lead over him. I'm getting an additional $1,200 resources while denying him that 600 per minute. Now he made a mistake here and he sold his power plant. You should always let it die, because if you don't do that, the opponent has the opportunity to pull back their Shadow Teams and not use the C4 charges. So I got 2 power plants for the price of 1, which is very good for me. Nerve Center comes down, so if he builds another power plant, he can upgrade the fusion core on his power plant and increase the power output by a significant margin. Now he has options here. He can go for a lightning spike push of Seekers, which is what it looks like, or he can go for a Mechapede build with a tier 3, but it seems like at the moment he's going for this push. I don't want to cancel my refinery. It would be safer to cancel it and go for a Hand of Nod at this point, build a couple of Awakened to EMP those forces coming towards me. Selling off these Shredder turrets. A lot of people ask me why I build Shredder turrets. Why do you build them over laser turrets? Why do you build watchtowers over guarding cannons? And it's because it takes way less time. 6 seconds to build. Plus, in the case of Kane, you get the Awakened, which in the case of all defenses, that's what happens. Sells off the refinery, and he sells off his Warp Sphere at the same time. That must have been a misclick, but it was only just the 1 engineer. These engineers can really throw off your opponent. Light Spike comes down. I'm going to put down this Operations Center. And this is a tier 3, so this Temporal Wormhole is going to significantly decrease the rate of fire of my tanks and movement speed. But yeah, going back to the watchtowers and Shredder turrets, they have very good DPS against lightly armored units too. The gun damage armor on light units such as buggies, seekers, and pipples is very low. Plus they shoot over structures, the guarding cannons and laser turrets do not. Seekers doing a bit of pressure, they did use this temporal wormhole, but fortunately for him, the damage was not inflicted, and I'm going to be getting away here scot-free with my tanks. I don't want to overspend on these forces of mine. Starting to build these Venoms because I'm a bit paranoid about getting my MCV captured by Prodigy, which is highly likely considering the fact that he went for that tier 3 mecha piece, and a Prodigy is a really common strategy, and I've seen this guy do it a number of times. Saboteur there waiting. I was thinking maybe I could move that around, but it's unlikely anyways. I need to think of a way of getting rid of this defensive tower, and one thing that comes to mind here is summoning in a carrier on a Saboteur and landing it right on top of the defensive tower. That defensive tower has a minimum range. If you land next to it with an engineer, you'll be able to capture it without losing your NG. Tyroon Spy gets once again captured. He's on tier 3. I'm only now going to place down my tech center. This shadow team is doing some recon here. I'm looking to perhaps capture this MCV of his with a Saboteur, but that attack plan was foiled, and I'm going to have to think of something else. But the thing I like about Mock and Nod is you have a lot of strategies, a lot of options. I got the Venoms, which again are just going to be used against the Prodigy if he builds one. I've got a laser turret down too, but what I really need against Mechapeds are stealth tanks. Going for a chemical plant. If you're against mass Mechapede and you need to kill mechas, you can use this catalyst missile instead of using it on your opponent's refineries. There's a number of targets that the catalyst missile can target. Chemical plant comes down, and the first thing, as always, is to place the C-type room. That gives you over 3 grand of resources. I'm researching the supercharged particle beam upgrade. That is an essential upgrade considering the Traveler can transition at any moment to infantry. I summon in the catalyst missile, so yeah, he's gonna be having to once again build another refinery. I've got this dual beam avatar. I equipped it with a beam cannon. A lot of people say it's not worth it to upgrade avatars. I do believe it is. As mentioned in that Odyssey Tournament Oasis game, they get experience the same as unupgraded avatars. They rank up super quick as a result. They're still considered a $2,200 unit, and they'll rank up as such. Mechapeds though coming into my base, that is a lot of mechas. How am I going to defend against that with just one avatar? That does not even have a dual beam. These Venoms are doing what they can, but they're going to get taken out there because these mechas have the disc segments that will allow them to destroy those aircrafts. Avatar gets destroyed there, and now I'm losing my position at this base. I only have a handful of tanks left, and what am I going to do against this? My focus firing on this obelisk has to be perfect. I'm using the EMP from the sold off hand of Nod, and I'm going to get just one Mechapede with that Obelisk of Light, so not the best outcome for me. And those Mechapedes, as you can see, doing a lot of damage. And look, there's a Visceroid. A Visceroid has spawned in, that killed and awakened, and as a result, spawned a Visceroid. So, Visceroids have made their presence on this map. Just one, though. But yeah, the toxin segment on the Mechapede is useful nowadays, and it's lore accurate. So you've got this cybernetic leg upgrade, which is going to provide me with a decent speed boost as well on my Tigrum Trooper. I can use that to scout his base. I presume at this point he's got a base in the top left of the map. He hasn't expanded to his natural, so I'm assuming he went for the top left location with his drone platform. Bunch of Mechapeds heading towards my spikes. I'm going to combo this with the EMP, so that's going to provide me with 5 seconds of EMP to land the perfect shot on those mechas. And I want to be patient here. He knows he got hit, so let's just wait another second or two before going in there again. So I'm going to aim between both of the Mechapeds, and look at that. Vertigo Bombers coming in clutch, taking out 3 Mechapeds. No problem, but at the same time, whilst that is happening, these Shard Seekers are decimating the Scorpion tanks. Only 3 remain, but I have avatars now which is going to provide me with a solid frontier against this force. I need to move my MCV forward because I'm afraid of getting mind controlled by prodigies. That's really the biggest threat to me at this point. Tripods are not going to cut it. 3 avatars, 1 upgraded with the beam cannon is super powerful. I'm not afraid of unshielded tripods. Really, it is just a prodigy. That's why I'm building Venoms. I'm analyzing the situation on the ground, and my anti-infantry is in a dire state. But he's going to do another flanking maneuver on me with these Seekers, and I don't have anything to respond to those. Avatars are really slow, and I'm going for stealth tanks, which is about the worst possible thing at this point. He's going to avoid the mag mine drop as well. I notice he might capture that EMP control center. I want to keep an eye on that. And just 3 tanks, that'll at best store his advance for a minute or less. So yeah, EMP. What am I going to do? I don't have anything left, and he's got a base up in the top left. This Obelisk of Light is all that stands between him, me, and my base getting taken out. These Vertigos are just standing by, looking for a target in his base. At best, I can get a Harvester. I can return back and try and kill the Seekers harassing me. This refinery is key to keep alive, because if I lose that, I'm not going to have any ground control. Then I'm going to have to move my MCV back. I do have a command post or operation center, but yeah, not really ideal. Slowly though, the Seekers are being picked off, and he's continuing to build them. It was a decent move of his to do that. More Seekers heading towards me in the south, and I have built this time a Obelisk ready to drop. Vertigo's assessing the battlefield. I see 2 Harvesters, and what I'm going to do here is aim the ground, anticipate where those Harvesters are going to go, and as you can see there, I nailed both of them. That's the power of focus firing. Vertigo Bomb is so effective when microed, and you can see the value that these are providing me as the mock player. Only now I'm going to work on an epic unit. I deemed avatars were better. They're a little bit more mobile compared to the Redeemer, and they don't take as long to produce. But now I'm going to build my epic unit. Not as useful as Martyr Kane. You can't use it as a giant flame tank like Nod or Blackhand. It doesn't have that option. You don't have Blackhand squads. But I am hurting here a little bit because I am now running out of Tiburum. And he's taken that field up in the top left. He's also got 2 tip spikes under his control. So I'm going to have to take this very seriously. He's also going to have these support powers like Ichor Seed, and the Growth Accelerator as well will keep him in the game for a lot longer. I'm getting hit again by these Mecha Beasts, by these Seekers. It's a very potent combo. My unit comp is terrible versus Disc Mechas and Seekers, but I'm still getting value out of this. A Temporal Wormhole gets summoned in on my avatars. He promptly takes those out, but my Vertigo sweeps in and gets a massive hit on those Seekers, destroying 5 in the process. So yeah, value is insane. 2 Vertigos is all I made. I didn't even pump out a full deck of them, just 2, and it feels like I've done damage equivalent to 8. Micro definitely paying off. And you know they've been microed and used effectively because they both have ranks on them. One of them is probably approaching elite rank at this point. But this force of Mecha Beasts and Seekers is still alive, and I'm not going to engage that. The Mecha Beast will approach the avatar from the rear, get that rear damage on it. That will increase the damage output by 50%. And the assortment of distance shards is just so hard to deal with as mock. He's taking out my aircraft, he's taking out my units. And I'm going to build a chemical plant once again to summon in the Sea Tiburum. I don't intend to use it for anything else, and I know I can do that once again. So I'm going to summon in the Sea Tiburum. It's really good. It's worth to build a chemical plant just for that support power alone. And now I feel I have to push in because he is just relentless. He's bringing in resources. I'm going to use the chemical plant's catalyst missile, take over his Tiburum spike. That would be a good idea. And despite the numerous trades I've made which have been in my favor, I haven't really got the standing army to show for it, or as big an army as I would have liked. At this point here, I'm a bit worried about an Eradicator Hexapod, so I'm going to build a Secret Shrine and get some Enlightened out. Enlightened are already going to be coming pre-equipped with the Cybernetic Legs and Supercharged Particle Beams. I have both upgrades this late into the game, so as Mock, it's a really good transition to build a couple Enlightened. I've got a dual beam avatar there, but I need to be concerned again about the Prodigy and Mind Control. I can deal with Cultists in a pinch. I can use the Cloaking Field support power. And quick little fact, guys, the cooldown on the Cloaking Field for Mark Kane is actually half that of the Nod faction. And that Tiberium Trooper in the Redeemer also allowed the Redeemer to get another shot off before being close range EMP'd by that tripod. EMP comes down though on this Mechapede. That Enlightened coming in there to save the day. It's also going to prevent those tripods from approaching this Redeemer. Redeemer though is getting really low on health. The Cybernetic Leg Enlightened are doing major damage, especially versus those Seekers. There's no buzzers, there's no Gunwalkers just yet, and the tripods are being reclaimed by those assimilators, of which they are stealthed. The Redeemer does fall inevitably. And now what do I do against these tripods? What do I do against these Seekers? And he's probably going to have Buzzer Hives. I have nothing else aside from this few paltry forces. There's a Elite Enlightened there. All three of its members are alive. If I want, I can return that to base and get some repairs near the War Factory. Those do repair nearby War Factories in this community patch. Enlightened though moving in, and my micro has to be as flawlessly. I have to focus down the Gunwalkers. I cannot afford to make any misplace here. More Venoms coming out because I'm afraid of that Prodigy, as you should be. EMP's coming down, and I'm targeting the Gunwalkers first. This will allow my Cybernetic Leg Enlightened to get this damage off unopposed. And look at the damage. And I'm even going to allow the Elite Squad to get the final shot by placing all my other units on hold fire stance. And now I've got a Heroic Enlightened which will heal over time. And look at this beautiful red heroic firing effect of that Supercharged Particle Beam. Super fun to watch, super enjoyable to play using those Enlightened squads. Anyways guys, hope you all enjoyed that game. I actually enjoyed watching it there. Really back and forth. Lots of Seekers, lots of Mechapeds, tripods, the Redeemer using its chemical trooper, or in the case of Mock, the Tiberium Trooper, to slow down that tripod, the Vertigo Micro, as well as the Shadow Teams at the start. So it was really non-stop action throughout, and I thought it was a good demonstration of the Mock faction and what you can do with them. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this game, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, then don't forget to smash the like button. I really do appreciate that. And before I go, I'd like to thank my Patreon members for supporting me and continuing to support this game and the development of R22, the community patch. So this is it from me, Master Leaf, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.